In this video, we are going to deal with factoring polynomials with greatest common monomial factor. So, as a recall, balikan natin yung lesson natin before na multiplying of polynomials, wherein if we multiply a monomial by a polynomial, we are just going to apply distributive property. So, in this case, x times a is ax and x times b is bx. So, x times a plus b is equal to the polynomial ax plus bx. So, the reverse process going from ax plus bx to x times a plus b is what we call factoring. Okay? So, kung naunang yung product, and then nahanapin natin kung ano yung mga factors na pinag-multiply at nakuha natin tong product na to. So, the same thing, kung i-check natin kung tama ba yung mga nakuha nating factors, i-multiply lang natin siya pabalik para malaman natin kung tama ang ating factors. Okay, so the terms ax plus bx have a common factor x. Okay? Alright, let's try to factor out this given expression. 6n squared plus 2n. Okay, so how do we do that? 6n squared plus 2n. Okay? So, ang ginagawa ko, yan, ilista lang natin siya. Focus muna tayo sa numerical coefficient 6 and 2. Saan ba natin pwedeng i-divide yung dalawang yan? Or ano ba yung common factor nila? Kung maiisip po kagad yung greatest common factor nila, okay. So, that is 6 is 2 times 3 and 2 is 2 times 1. So, parehas silang pwedeng i-divide sa 2. Okay? So, 6n squared, divide natin sa 2, we'll have 3n squared. Plus, 2n, divide by 2, is just 1n or n na lang. Okay, now, ang natira na lang natin na numerical coefficients is 3 and 1. So, wala nang common factor except for 1. Alright, focus na tayo ngayon sa variables. Pagdating sa variables, kailangan yung ma-factor out natin na variable is present sa lahat ng terms, and then kukunin natin yung may pinaka-mababang exponent. So, in this case, we have n squared and n. Okay? So, n squared is n times n. Ito ay isang n lang. So, ang ifa-factor out natin is isang n. Okay? So, i-divide ulit natin yan. 3n squared divided by n. Mababawasan ng isang n. So, that is 3n. And then, n divided by n is equal to 1. Okay? Yung number na nandito sa gilid, 2 and n, or 2n, is what we call the greatest common monomial factor, or greatest common factor. And then, ito yung natira nating polynomial after nating i-divide lahat ng terms sa ating greatest common monomial factor. So, what does it mean? Na yung 6n squared plus 2n is 2n times 3n plus 1. Okay, ito yung tinatawag na kanyang factored form. So again, if you want to check kung tama yung nakuha nating factored form, balik lang tayo sa multiplication. So that is 2n times 3n plus 1. Check natin. So 2n times 3n is 6. And then n, that is n squared. So that is 6n squared. 2n times 1 is itself. So, ito ay kaparehas ng given, which means ang nakuha nating factored form is correct. Next example, we have 5c plus 20d. Okay, so this down. Alright, and then, focusing on the numerical coefficients, 5 and 20, ano ang kanilang common factor? So, ang common factor nila is 5. Kasi ang 5 is 5 times 1. Ang 20 is 4 times 5. So, we can factor out 5. And then, divide each term by the number 5. So, 5c divided by 5, c na lang. Then, 20d divided by 5 is 4D. The numerical coefficients are 4 and 1. So, wala nang common factor except for 1. Stop na tayo sa numerical coefficients. Focus sa variables. Variables are C and D. Walang common, so, yun na siya. This is our GCF. And ito yung natira nating polynomial or binomial. So, 5C plus 20D is equal to 5 times C plus 4D. That is its factored form. So, syempre, to check, 5 times C plus 4D should lead us back to the given. So, 5 times C is 5C. And then, 5 times 4D is 20D plus 20D. Okay? Meaning, our factored form is correct. Next, let's try to factor out 4mn minus 8n squared. Okay? For some, maiisip ka agad nila, okay, ang GCF ng 4 and 8 is 4, pero yung ibang nahihirapan will do this step by step, paunti-unti, okay lang yun. So, halimbawa, naisip niya, okay, divide ko muna sa 2. So, that is 2mn. And then, yung 8n squared, divide ko sa 2, that is 4n squared. Okay lang. So, part by part, bits by bits. So, by inspection again, 2 and 4, okay, pwede ko ulit siya i-divide sa 2. Sabihin ng iba, kung ma'am, sa umpisa pa lang nakita ko na kaagad na pwede siyang i-divide pares sa 4, that's very good. Pero kung hindi naman kaya, pwede nyo unti-untiin. So, 2mn divided by 2 is just mn na lang. Minus 4n squared divided by 2 is 2n squared. Okay, so the numerical coefficients are already in its simplest form. So, focus na tayo sa variables. Mn, n squared. Parehas meron is n. May pinakamababang exponent is n to the first power. So, factor out lang natin si n. Mn divided by n is just m. And 2n squared divided by n will be 2n. Okay? So, lahat na nandito sa gilid, multiply natin. That is our greatest common monomial factor. So, that is 2 times n. We have 4n. 4n, and then, ito yung ating natirang binomial. So, we can say that 4mn minus 8n squared is the same as 4n times the binomial m minus 2n. Okay? Check natin. 4n times m minus 2n. 4n times m is 4mn. 4n times 2n is 8n squared minus 8n squared. Na parehas lang nung ating given, which means the factored form is correct. Alright, next. Let's try to factor the expression 49 tu squared v cubed minus 28 t cubed u v squared plus 14 tv. So, let us inspect the numerical coefficients 49, 28, and 14. Okay, so unahin natin si 49. Ano-ano ba yung mga factors ni 49? 1 and 49, saka 7 times 7. Okay, dahil so 49 na yung pinakamalaking number sa kanilang tatlo, we will now have the idea na ang common sa kanila is 7. 49 is 7 times 7, 28 is 4 times 7, and 14 is 2 times 7. So, we are going to write down 7. Divide each term by that 7, so we have 7 tu squared v cubed minus 28 divided by 7 is 4. And then 14 divided by 7 is 2. Okay? So we have 7, 4, and 2. No other common factor except for 1. Focus na tayo sa variables. Check kung lahat ay may variable t. Yes. And then ano yung may pinakamababang exponent? T to the first power. Okay? Check kung lahat ay may u. Wala sa pangatlo, so we are not going to factor out any u. And then, v. Meron, v cubed, v squared, and v. The one with the least exponent is v to the first power, so v lang siya. So we factored out tv. And then divide each term by that tv. Right? So, 7. T over t is cancelled out. U squared is still the same. And then v cubed divided by 1v here. So, 3 minus 1. So, v squared na lang ang natira. Alright? 4. We factored out t to the first power. So, magiging t squared na lang siya. And then, u is still the same. V squared, natanggalan ng isa. So, v na lang. Plus, we factored out tv. So, tanggal yung tv dito sa pangatlong term. So, it's just 2. Our greatest common monomial factor is 7tv. And then, ang natira natin, polynomial is 7u squared, v squared minus 4t squared uv plus 2. Okay. So, 7tv times 7 u squared, v squared minus 4t squared uv plus 2. Okay? So, check natin. 7tv times 7u squared, v squared minus 4t squared uv plus 2. Okay? 7 times 7, 49. T, u squared, and then v to the first times v squared is v to the third power. Minus 7 times 4 is 28. T squared times t is t to the third power. U, v times v is v squared. Plus 2 times the greatest common monomial factor 7tv is 14tv. Again, which will prove na ang nakuha nating factored form is correct. And next, let's try to factor the expression 9def minus 3d squared e plus 18d to the third power. 9, 3, and 18 have the greatest common factor 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. def. 3 divided by 3 is 1. d squared e. And 18 divided by 3 is 6. Inspect natin yung mga variables na common and with the least exponent. So, we have d sa lahat, and the one with the least exponent is d to the first power. E, wala sa pangatlo. F, sa unahan lang meron. So, it's just d na na-factor out natin. So, when we divide, this will become 3EF. D squared, na-cancel out ang isa. So, d na lang. DE plus 6D squared. So, our greatest common monomial factor is 3D. And then, ang natirang polynomial is this. So, ang factored form ng ating given is 3D times 3EF minus DE plus 6D squared. Okay, let's check. 3D times 3EF minus DE plus 6d squared. Alright, dito na lang. So, 3d times 3ef is 9def minus 3d times negative de is minus 3d squared e plus 6 times 3 is 18. D squared times d is d to the third power. Which means, tama ang nakuha nating factored form. Okay? So, I hope naging malinaw sa atin kung paano tayo nag-factor ng polynomials with greatest common monomial factor. Okay? Thank you!